making cars moves us. What moves you?
Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz brought up some questions regarding Henry Titano's appointment as the administrator of GITA. Specifically, Cruz is trying to determine if Titano still has business interests with a company known as Downtown Pacific Ventures. Cruz says he pulled the articles of incorporation for Downtown Pacific Ventures from Reventax.
And the members of the corporation were Edward J. Calvo, Joseph G. Calvo, Henry Payumo, Arun Payumo, and Alliance Services LLP with a Mongmong address that supposedly invested $20,000, and the notary attested that a Henry J. Titano signed as the duly authorized representative of Alliance Services LLP.
Vice Speaker Cruz is concerned because he asked Titano during the public hearing whether or not he received any correspondence from Reventax, and Titano said no. However, the Vice Speaker says he got a copy of a letter from Reventax that was addressed to Titano.
I don't know if it was or was not received, but it was addressed to John Henry Flores Titano, active partner with a Mongmong address, and it was regarding fee for the limited liability partnership for Pacific Vision LLP.
Cruz says that according to the paperwork, Titano's company, Alliance Services, was a part of Pacific LLP, and his company owed a fee of $4,000.
In what was provided to us the other day, there was no mention of any outstanding tax liability. And so he's being named not as the Energy Office Administrator, Madam Chairman, Madam Speaker. He's being nominated to the position and appointed to the position of the Guam Economic Development Administration.
However, Titano submitted some paperwork of his own from Reventax today showing that he is no longer affiliated with that company. But Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz says this paperwork isn't enough.
He could have and should have provided us with the dissolution agreement, some documentation as to how he was divested, some documentation how the corporation was dissolved.
Ultimately, these questions resulted in the legislature opting to withdraw his appointment and send it back to its committee. This doesn't mean that they rejected his nomination, but rather that they wanted more time to clarify some of these questions before voting on his confirmation. But Governor Calvo believes that Titano is the best man for the job at GITA, and the legislature should not waste any time in approving his appointment.
I believe what has happened is there are some of the statements that have been made up by some senators are just factually incorrect, and I think those have been clarified, those questions that they brought up, and I believe that they'll move on it tomorrow. I'm hopeful they'll move on it tomorrow because I think Henry would be a valuable asset to GITA and a valuable asset to the people of Guam.